Hello, ma'am. Very big focus on the renewable energy sector by the government today. A lot of schemes announced. How do you see those schemes as a positive for the sector?
First of all, nice to be here on this show. It was, I think, it's great. I would say over the last decade, almost as old as we are, we're a little bit older. We are delighted by the vision this government has shown over the last decade for India's renewable energy growth transition. Crystal clear, very specific planned steps, whether it was solar, wind, green hydrogen, and now offshore wind. I think they followed a very systematic approach. If we look at our parliament also over the last decade, there have been no issues around clean energy related policies and incentives which have been given. So I think it's very encouraging to see. I think schemes like offering rooftop to about 1 crore people, helping them save about 15 to 18,000 rupees per month. Muft Bijli for all is a really great tagline and really makes people understand what we are talking about, and also kind of double clicks from institutional sustainable initiatives to individual level sustainable initiatives. And in a country like India, with the largest population, one of the largest population in the world, it's really important that individuals adopt a sustainable way of life, which is going to feed into the country's, I guess, commitment to this transition. So I think that is great. As I said, the offshore wind incentive is great to kickstart that sector. And the other schemes around, the two new schemes around biomanufacturing and foundries, I think that's great. So some new stuff, some old taken forward to the next level. That is a perfect recipe for good policies, good execution, and growth in the right direction. So I'm pleased.
Especially the rooftop solar scheme to be given to 1 crore people and incentivizing them by giving some units of free electricity. Do you think that will motivate and boost the sector right on the ground level?
See, there is no free, it is clean energy, right? And there is some incentive which is being given. I think it's an incentive which is going to be, I would say it's an incentive, investment, because it's going to lead to adoption of clean energy, which is good. And secondly, I think, it is time for, people to get engaged. I think that's been a bit of a gap. We've seen companies engage, we've seen policymakers engage, but I think at an individual level, I think these are good steps. They must be taken. I think what's also very important is that these incentives lead to a lot of opportunities on the ground. I can see women getting more engaged in entrepreneurial activities as a result of solar rooftop. We've been doing a lot of solar rooftop work as a part of a CSR activity as well, and as a part of our business, which we no longer do, but once upon a time we were doing that. But what it does is there's a huge amount of opportunities for entrepreneurship, which is very important for employment in the rural area. So this is going to have a ripple effect, which is going to be positive.
There's a corpus announced also to boost R&D by the private sector. How do you see that impacting the renewable energy sector?
I think it's super, super critical. As far as renewable energy sector is concerned, we as ReNew, as a company, have always believed in the power of research because it's a brand new area, and we are learning as we go along. So R&D, investment and incentivizing private sector to invest in R&D is critical. I think India offers a lot of solutions, not only for India, but for the rest of the world as well. Be it storage, be it manufacturing, etc. So I think R&D and also the long-term life cycle of some of the products we're using, how do we recycle them, how do we make them more sustainable, how do we actually work towards meeting our net zero goals in the long term. For all of these things, from now to 2070, we need R&D to build up very strong, solid platform for us to be able to accelerate our journey. We need to accelerate because we have to move from implementing 15 gigawatt per year to 50 gigawatt a year. It's not a small feat. So I think all of these things are going to be super helpful. Also, R&D will engage a lot of women because R&D research comes naturally, I've seen in my career, to women. So I think it will also engage women. It's a comfortable area. It's an intellectual area. Sometimes there is a block between, I don't want to work in an infrastructure area, but I'm happy to work in front of a computer, I'm happy to work in a library, things like that. So I really see young women, young girls, women get involved in R&D. I also hope that a lot of these policies and incentives also result, education is a base for skilling. So I think skilling is super critical in a sector where we're going to go from 15 gigawatts to 50 gigawatts. We do not have enough human resources. So we will have to use artificial intelligence. We'll have to engage youth, women, in addition to the manpower we have. So I think all of these things put together are critical and a requirement in our sector.
I looked up 5 balance sheets on Moneycontrol. I'll do it on the fly. This took me exactly 3 minutes, thanks to Moneycontrol. First thing to come up is Moneycontrol. So I don't even have to scroll down to look at. I click and I get what I want.
When I started my career, there was a huge information arbitrage between institutional investors and retail investors. The arbitrage gap between institutional and retail investor has disappeared, mainly due to money control.
Congratulations, Moneycontrol, and thank you so much for being there.
Absolutely delighted with the news that Moneycontrol has overtaken the Economic Times.
Moneycontrol has slowly and steadily become the go-to site for all updates.
Moneycontrol has good ideas, detailed ideas, stock specific ideas.
Life of the market is money control in the sense that you get everything what needs to be known.